Happy friendship birthday, Jessica.
Happy friendiversary, Kallie.
Ready?
Wow.
Wow! Jessica, we've had 100 plays on our YouTube channel this month.
I can't believe 100 people already played our brand new show.
Wow.
We want to thank you so much, everybody. I know it's 100 views, but you know what? We just started this new venture. So thank you so much to everybody that listened and watched and everything. Thank you.
Like, subscribe, do it all. Thank you so much.
Oh!
Wow! We did it again, guys! We've had 1,000 plays on Spotify.
All right!
Other streaming platforms. Holy shit, thanks. This is really funny that it's all coming. I feel like it's a sign from the universe we need to continue. So, now we just need 100 followers.
All right. We're getting there.
Yes. Well, you've been busy this week.
Oh, I'm so tired.
I don't blame you. So Jessica was on a podcast. Don't know if you guys saw.
It was Vegas Nonstop with Jonathan Scott and Enoch Augustus Scott.
Yeah. Listen, Enoch sounds like a lot of fun. I cannot wait to meet him.
You know what's so funny is he goes, "Didn't you ask me to be on your show once?"
Yeah.
Yes, Enoch.
I did.
Yes, I did, Enoch.
And now you should be.
And now he's like, "Let me know when I can be on your show."
So listen, it was a lot of fun because we got some Enoch's going to be on the show.
Enoch's going to be on the show.
Scott wants to be on the show tw. So that'll be exciting to see everyone give us more, content. Oh, la, la.
It's cool because Jonathan Scott is the entertainment director at Silver Sevens.
Okay.
And he also is a producer for the NBC affiliate here in Vegas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he does a lot in TV.
Yeah.
Listen, I remember part of the show where he talked about Jerry Springer and some of the things that went down on the set of Jerry Springer. So
that's my favorite show.
So I think he worked on Jerry Springer. I think he did.
Steve! Listen, I love Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, real talk.
Rest in peace.
But yeah, so you were on the podcast. It seemed like a lot of fun. I mean, you got to meet
it literally takes place on stage in front of the entire Silver Sevens casino.
Wow. Yeah. And you got to meet a puppet. Who the fuck was that guy?
Okay, so here's the thing about the puppet.
This puppet just showed up at nowhere.
Okay, but did you see? Okay, so this is what happened. Jonathan's talking. Somebody's talking. Oh, it was I think it was the GM for the casino.
No.
Someone was talking, and
yeah,
I look over in and because you could see the check-in desk,
yeah,
the front desk is right across the way, and I see this big dude with a fucking puppet.
Yeah, got, suspenders on and everything.
and I look
at a man with a puppet.
I go to Enoch. I'm like, "There's a puppet. Enoch, there's a puppet. There's a puppet over there." And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "There's a fucking puppet over there." And I was trying to not the camera's focused on, and I'm like, "Okay, there's a puppet." And then Enoch still couldn't see it. And then dude walks up to the bar.
Yeah.
Because there's the bar area. There's the lounge bar, and then where you're on the lounge stage.
Okay.
And so the dude walks up, and Enoch goes, "Oh, that's the puppet."
It did happen. And then he just showed up.
I was like, "Yes, that's the puppet, Enoch." So then Jonathan brings up this guy and his puppet. Now I'm thinking, okay, this is he's doing a ventriloquist thing. The puppet never spoke. Now, when I say the puppet never spoke, I don't mean that the puppets actually talk. I mean, we're talking, I'm thinking he's Jeff Dunham or
Actually, I don't think there was a chance to let the puppet talk.
No, the puppet, no, because they were trying to ask the puppet questions.
Oh.
And the guy was like,
the guy didn't know
the guy was had this puppet, and he's like, "Oh, this is Harold. Say hi, Harold." And Harold was just there, or whatever his name was, or Harry, or whatever.
I don't know.
But he just was just, but he never gave the puppet its own voice. He just walked around with the puppet, which is why Enoch was like, well, the FBI is going to be calling calling us to use this as video evidence. I was like, as long as I don't see that dude walking around parks, but apparently that guy teaches.
That's right. But he teaches at a
No, Las Vegas high school. Yeah,
it teaches at Las Vegas High School, which that's not the academy. That's just Las Vegas High School.
Yeah,
Las Vegas High School is not in the nicest part of town, so I I don't understand how he's not being beat up.
It was
personally.
Well, I don't think he brings the puppet to school, but like we asked if his principal was aware of like his puppeteering, and he said that he was aware. But it was all creepy. And I was like, why did we do this?
I mean, when you see a puppet in Vegas, you bring it on stage.
Around in Vegas, like, whatever. Like, but
I mean, that's how he spends his Fridays.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. But it was Friday at 2:00. Like, what do you want from me? Like,
and then also, Brooke, what was her last name?
Brooke Wilkes.
You met her, and she has a, like a rock show, right? Yeah. And she's performing at Silver Sands.
Yes.
And she was there, and she sang, and I put dance emojis if you guys watch the episode. So,
she performed later that night, and then you know who made an appearance? Paige Strafella.
And then Denny, right?
Denny Mishler.
He plays guitar in it, so we were like,
we love Denny Mishler.
Yes. And so, but yeah, it seemed like a fun podcast. They definitely, they've have a lot of episodes, so check them out.
Go check them out.
So, that was fun. And then you also went to Vinny A's show.
Okay, so here's the thing, and this started during the pandemic. Every year, for Vin's birthday, they have the downtown Hootenanny. I never get I think it's always at Notoriety, and I never get to go because I'm always at work.
Yeah.
And this time around, it was scheduled like around Super Bowl, and so they were like, you know what? Like, so they rescheduled it, and then I got a text from Jimmy, like the day before, and he goes, "Hey, you working tomorrow?" And I go, "No." He goes, "You want to go to Hootenanny?" I'm like, "Yes, say less."
I sure do.
Say less. Like, I will absolutely be there. Yes. And I went and bought a dress. Like, I was like, no, I am so down. And what was really cool, like, I got to see everybody. I took Eric Snow with me, who's a DJ here in town. So I took him with me. And the amount of people that I haven't seen in forever, like they're all, everybody's like, they're all on my Facebook and everything. And we all talk on Facebook, but I haven't.
In person.
I have kind of been hiding for the last, 6 months?
Yeah, well, you've just been really focused on, getting ready for Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And that's coming up now. So,
yes,
I mean,
we're 5 months away from London. Yeah. So, I've been kind of staying home and not, spending money and going out and doing all that stuff. So nobody's really seen me. So it was really cool to be able to see everybody.
Yeah.
And the amount of crazy that I saw happen on that stage.
They played South Park at one point.
They played the South Park theme song.
I love that.
Before that, they played the Friends theme song, and we all got in on the claps.
Spice Girls?
That was okay. So hold on. So we'll get into that. So it was like a 90s theme.
Yeah.
And they played just different things. I know that Vin had always wanted to play the 15-minute version of a Green Day song. Okay. So he played that. Okay. And they all had fun with it it was just whatever the fuck they wanted to do.
That's a lot of fun.
And a lot of little antics happened. Yeah. Joe Bonasorte was the guitar player. Just different. It was just a great time.
Yeah.
Chris Chiquino showed up. His wife actually was the one that gave me tickets to 98 Degrees, so I got to see her.
That's always special.
And just all kinds of craziness happened. Oh, at one point they played the theme song from Cruel Intentions.
Oh, how funny.
And while they were playing the theme song to Cruel Intentions, they played this video montage of everybody that's gone to see them.
Yeah.
And all or throughout the years.
Yeah.
So there was pictures of Cats was there, but so there were pictures of Sam Novak.
Yeah.
There were pictures of Vin and Liz.
Yeah.
And Jimmy and just everybody was doing crazy shit in these pictures.
That's fun.
And Vin was like, "I make no apologies about what you guys will see in these photos. If you guys see yourselves, I'm not fucking sorry." And it was so good. So that was all played during that. And then so then they allowed like Chris Chiquino to come up and play guitar for a little while. And then after that, they let him do a comedy set, and I thought, well, that's weird.
That's new.
And what was okay? So first of all, they put me and Eric at Alex Papa's table, and Alex Papa is Elizabeth's drummer for Queens of Rock.
Oh, connection.
Yes, he's also the drummer for Spasmatics.
Oh, I knew that.
Okay,
yes.
So I was like,
he was the drummer for. He was the same drummer when I saw him.
He used to sub out for the Whippets. Like that guy's everywhere.
Yes,
so, so we walk in and they put us there, and I was like, "Shut up!" Like this was awesome.
This is good.
So like towards the end of the night, oh, never mind. But I'll say something later that I thought about. So then, he's doing this comedy act, and we were like, "What's happening?" And then like he finishes up, and it was like only like a few minutes or whatever. Yeah. And he's like, "Thanks everyone." And we were all like, "Okay, that was great.
That was funny." Ha!
And the next thing you know, you see like the Spice Girls like logo on the big screen, and we're like,
what does that mean?
Shut up, what's happening? And like next thing I know, here comes Vin dressed as Posh Spice in a leather mini dress.
Oh my god.
Leather mini dress. It's like we saw a lot more of Vin.
I didn't know.
We saw a lot more of Vin than like
oh my goodness.
You know, it was fine. And then Jimmy played Ginger because obviously, you know, she's famous for that British flag outfit. So of course that's who Jimmy was going to play.
Yeah.
Chris, the lead singer of Zoe Bowie, was Scary Spice.
Damn. I missed that.
And then there was two other people like I don't actually know them. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, everybody like came out and
funny.
did the Spice Girls "Spice Up Your Life" song, and I was crying. I was like, they were on point with their choreography. And I'm going to tell this story because Jimmy told me this story, and I feel the obligation to tell this story. Okay. So when they were setting up for this, and they decided to do the Spice Girls, Jimmy was like, okay, we're going to throw all of this together. So Jimmy calls everyone up, and he goes, all right, I'm going to go to the thrift store. We're going to do Amazon. What do you guys need to like fulfill these costumes, right?
Yeah.
And so everybody's like, oh, I need this, I need this. So then he calls Chris, and he goes, hey, you know, do you need anything? Like, what can I get for you, you know, from the thrift store? And Chris goes, I'm ashamed to tell you this, but I don't actually need anything.
I have my whole outfit. I've had it for years.
He was ready for that moment. Can
you imagine? Well, this has been my calling. Finally, I can finally wear the outfit. Oh, it's been collecting dust for years. Bought this thing long time ago. Knew there was going to be a special occasion.
Like, so wait, he had a Scary Spice wig just floating around.
I have more questions now than ever. I'm going to go with he thought it was cute. Okay. I decided to put it in the back of the closet.
So next year, if I can't go to Hootenanny, it is your job to go. Like,
what happened? Okay, well, Scary Spice. Let's talk about this. You'd be like, oh, no. That's so funny.
It was really cool, though, because so then afterwards, I went over and I said hi to everybody. And I went up to Vin, and he didn't know that I was there. Yeah. And he was so excited to see me, give me a big hug, and he said
I feel like it's been a while.
It's been a really long time, and he said, you know what? He said, oh my God, Jess, I can't believe. He's like, you're here too, and I was like, yeah. He goes, I want to tell you though that I know how hard you work, so I am so happy that you came, and I appreciate it even more so because I know I see who watches my Instagram stories when I'm posting where I'm at all the time, like what job I'm currently at, so like, you know, it's
nice to see to know that he remembers too.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, I haven't seen you in a while, but okay,
yeah. And then
tab.
of course, like, and then I go and say hey to Jimmy, and he's like, okay, so when are you leaving for London? Because we have to talk about where you have to go. And I'm like, man, I didn't realize like everybody's paying attention, and I had no idea. I didn't think anybody. I mean, people care, but not really.
No,
I mean, it's
I
like
say the same thing. It's like, oh, y'all know. Like anytime we go out, you're like, oh, you're Danger's mom. I'm like, I am.
yeah,
That's weird. You know him more than me. It's okay. He's cute. I get it.
yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, it sounds like it was a great show. Happy birthday, Vin. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. They brought him out a cake, and it was funny because like they blindfolded him, and we all expected something crazy to happen, but instead they just brought him out a birthday cake.
I mean, maybe he didn't know he was gonna get a birthday cake on his birthday. I mean, you guys didn't know you were getting a birthday cake.
I don't know. It was the Spice Girls thing.
That was funny. Yeah,
that was definitely good. The most memorable moment of the night.
Yeah, and it was
burned in my brain forever.
Well, and also another night that was burned in your brain forever. So Jessica's like, oh my God, I'm going to see Sandy tonight at my bar. And I was like, oh my God, how much fun. I didn't think of anything of it. And then I wake up the next day and there's like Sarah Hester Ross. There's Sandy. There's like all these fucking people. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what happened? And she's just working.
This is all in the same week. Okay, like this is all in the same week.
I mean, I was like, holy hell! Everyone showed up.
So
like surprise performers.
Like, this is okay. So Sandy texts me and she says, "Please tell me." Like she texts me Friday and says, "Please tell me you're at Vic's tomorrow." And I was like, "Of course. Every Saturday night, Sunday morning, I'm at Vic's."
Yeah.
And she goes, "Okay, cool. One of my friends is performing with Casey Abrams." And I was like, "Oh," because we had him Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And then like I'm like waiting for her to get there, and I'm like texting her. I'm like, "Are you on your way?" She's like, "Yeah, I'll be there soon." And before she gets there, Sarah Hester Ross walks in.
Friend of the show.
Because she's been on our show too.
Yep.
Sarah Hester Ross walks in, and she's like coming to the bar to like say hey, and I was like, oh hell no, and I like ran around I like came out of the bar like a child, right, like a starstruck fucking child, and I'm like, oh my god, and she's like, she looks amazing, like my god, and she was like, I didn't know you worked here. I'm like, yeah, man. And she was like, I didn't even know this place was here. And then she got mad at Sandy for not ever telling her about it because she's like, this place is awesome. And I'm like, yeah, my place is rocks, man. I love it. So, it was a really great time. And then this other guy walks in. So then they get their seats. And then like this other guy walks in. And I'm like, he looks familiar, but I don't want to say anything because I might be wrong. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But I'm like, why have I seen him before? So he sits down, and then Casey Abrams gets up on there, and he was a contestant on American Idol, and so he
was also at the O-Town show.
No, I'm not even talking about him yet. So then Casey Abrams gets up on stage, finishes. He brings Paul Loudon up there, Paul Loudon Sr.
Yeah,
and they do a song.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
And then a little while after that, I thought that was really awesome. And then a little while after that, he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, Blake Lewis," and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, this is
the second time I've seen him.
What's happening here? I saw him 4 months ago. Like, so what is happening? So I'm just like, holy crap. And he's up there beatboxing and I'm videoing it. And I'm like, this is crazy. Right? And like, he's just like sitting at this booth, just like, like whatever. And I'm like, the guy that lost to Jordan Sparks is sitting right there. So I'm like losing my mind a little bit, right? So after the show, Blake and Casey come sit at the bar, and then like some of their other musicians that were playing with them come sit at the bar. And we're all talking, and Alexis and I are telling our blind man jokes. And next thing we know, like, so then I start talking to Blake because we're just, I go, listen, I don't mean to fangirl.
I'm gonna fangirl just a little bit.
I just saw you open for O-Town in August.
It's true.
And he goes, "Oh yeah, I was there." I was like, "Yeah, I know. I was in the front row. I watched you come up on that stage. You had purple hair. I remember.
We were right up there.
Yeah, we were. And we were standing there going, "Who the fuck? Why does that guy look familiar?" Well, he lost to Jordan Sparks on American Idol. That's who he is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so we're talking, and he was like, "Well, I just moved to Vegas," and I go, "Oh yeah," and I go, "When did you move to Vegas?" He goes, 3 years ago. I go,
"It's not just you're a local."
I was like, "After 2, you're a local. It's fine."
Yeah.
So he's like, "Well, I don't really like get out much."
Okay.
And he goes, "But I do, when I do go out, I actually hang out at this bar."
You're like,
and I was like, "What?
when?
When? You did? You do?" He goes, "Yeah. And a lot of times you're my bartender."
Damn.
What?
Listen.
And I was like, "Wait a minute. Did I just see you last week? Or 2 weeks ago, like sitting over there?"
And he's like, "Yeah."
And he was like, so this is the thing. So I had this conversation with Brandon the other day about it. And it's the baseball cap thing. It's the baseball cap rule.
Incognito.
Like,
baseball
that's
cap. Because you recognize him with the purple hair. I think that's what you connect him with. So when he doesn't have purple hair, you're like, I don't know.
Well, yeah. Or like the way, his hair was blonde, but it was like just the way that his hair is the same style. But he just, but I was like, but the thing is like when he sat at my bar last time, I was like, why? I feel like I've seen him. But it was just in my like subconscious. Like I know I've seen him. Yeah. I know I recognize him, but I can't picture. I can't pinpoint.
Like where?
Yeah, where? Yeah. I saw him on American Idol when I was like 15.
And on O-Town.
And on O-Town.
And at the bar.
And at the bar. So then, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, you were also like when I was sitting in the lounge, you also took care of me there too." I was like, "Oh my God." So then he hands me his ticket to validate his parking. And I was like, "Yeah." So I take the ticket and I have to like go up to the host stand where the thing is. And he goes, "Did you just come out of that bar to give me a hug?" And I'm like,
"Yes."
Yes, and he opens his arm like he's gonna hug me.
Yep, I am now.
And I was like, yeah. And he gave me this big hug, and I was like, my inner 15-year-old was like screaming at me.
That's funny.
The same way my inner like 15-year-old was screaming at me the day that I met Ashley Angel. And I was like, what is happening?
That's so funny.
Like, what? But also, I don't think about Blake Lewis hanging out at Vic's. Like,
yeah.
I don't think about shit like that.
No, and also, I feel like it's been long enough since then where he's not like the top person on my brain either.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's fun. It's nice. Well, he hangs out at Vic's.
He hangs out at Vic's.
I mean, shit. Now you have to recognize his face so you can find out what his favorite drink is. We'll have it.
Like, hey, Blake, how are you?
Get him on the show.
Yeah.
Hey, Blake, come on the show.
Yeah. Come do our show. You gotta come over to my apartment and we'll do the show. Anyways. So that was a crazy week.
Yeah, I mean, and like, listen, it sounds like you had a lot of fun. You know what I mean?
I'm tired.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
On top of that,
yeah,
the next day was Rob Staley night.
Oh yeah, he was in town too.
I literally did not. So like, oh my God. Okay, so Tuesday we had our Jennifer Lopez night. Wednesday I went to Hootenanny. Friday, and then Saturday I worked. And Blake Lewis, and then no, we filmed the show because like this past week. So we filmed the show.
Yeah.
Then I went to Hootenanny.
Yeah.
Then I worked and met Blake Lewis and Casey Abrams.
Then we did
Then
J-Lo.
on Sunday I went to Rob Staley.
And
This all happened in the same week.
Dude, I can't even. So how was Rob Staley? He was good. He's amazing always.
I love Rob Staley. Oh my God, I enjoy that man.
Yeah.
But it was cool. Like I had well, actually this is what happened. I didn't stay the whole time.
Oh.
This is kind of a story. So I'm actually triggered by straws now.
What did they do to you?
Hear me out. Did
you get stuck in your nose like the turtle?
No, hear me out. This is what happened. So first of all, we get there and we're like standing at that table that's like right by the stage, like where I always sit. Yeah. And we were waiting for this couple who wasn't drinking to hopefully get up so we could have that table. And they didn't move. But then, my nose itches. But then like Steven was like, oh, look, there's a spot over there by the, like, around the bowl.
Yeah.
So we go and we sit around the bowl.
Yeah.
So we're, like, squeezed in because the girl behind me is, like scooched up on me to a point where, like, she's, like, she has her elbow on the back of my chair, right? And then at one point, she's, like, falling asleep. And
Bitch.
I can't move, right?
It's fucking
so
Vegas.
I have
Get it together.
So I have my chair kind of like facing out like towards the stage so I could like take pictures because they use my photos for promo. Might I add? So then people get on the bowl and I'm trying to turn my body. Right now, Steven orders us another round of drinks. We get another round of drinks.
Yeah.
I had like a 12-ounce cup, but they gave me the big tall straw.
Yeah.
Okay, so I try to turn my body, and in doing so, like, I just barely, because this girl's, like, falling asleep over my chair.
And you're just, like, trying to get out of the way.
Yeah, and I hit the straw in the, like, because the straw is, like 3 inches above the actual drink, right? So I knocked the straw over.
That's the worst.
And this fresh drink that was just put on my table goes all over, like all over my legs, all, like the front of my legs, the back of my legs, my shirt, and of all bands, of all people to do this in front of.
I know. Well, also there's just like now you smell like liquor.
Yeah, I mean whatever, but like so then I like go to the bathroom and like so then they're on break. I'm like, oh thank God.
Yeah,
okay, they're on break. And I'm like, okay, I hope I don't run into Rob while I look like I peed myself. Like I hope.
Rob, I'm so excited to see you. I peed myself.
Yes. I told Rob this story after, so it was fine. But I was like, that's why we left, Rob. Because I don't really. I always stay late and drink with him.
Yeah.
So then, I run into Matt. The guitar player. Yeah, and Matt's like at this point is introducing me to his girlfriend. And
you're just sitting in
I'm like just covered in liquor. And Matt was like, oh, I thought it was I was like, sorry, Matt, I'm just trying to get to the restroom so I could get to like the hand dryer because I have Crown and Coke all over me.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I thought that was like a shadow. And I'm like, no. Well, so then they got like new hand dryers. So they're like the really like thin, sleek ones. So I'm like up against it like this trying to like I'm not let me grab my ass. I'm doing that in the bathroom.
It's not the worst thing I've seen in that bathroom, so it's okay. It's okay.
So then I'm like, okay. So I go and I sit down, and Steven's like, he felt so bad, like, and our server felt bad. She brought me another drink and everything, and so I usually, when they get done with their set, I go and meet Rob at the bottom of the stage, give him a big hug, and then we go get a drink at the bar. Yeah. But I was not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm like sitting there and I'm like, oh, I'll just catch Rob next set and I'll just like, hopefully he'll just come over.
Yeah.
Well, apparently Rob can read my mind because before he went back on stage,
he was like, I'm gonna stop by over here.
He stopped by, gave me a big hug, and like cheers me and Steve because it's now Steven's favorite thing to do. Like that's our tradition now. Like Rob Saley's in town, I'm there. Like say less. Exactly. Like let's go. Yeah. And so Rob came over and hung out with us for a few minutes, and then he went back on stage, and I'm like sitting there still not drying. Like, and so I was literally like, okay,
I just want to go home.
I was hungry. Yeah, I almost just wanted to go home and like, I don't know. But so I like left. I was like, bye guys, love you. I'm out, and we leave, and I'm like walking through the casino just soaking wet. I get in my car. I turn the heat on like full blast. Like thankfully I dried a little bit to a point where like we ended up going to It's Sushi for dinner and got all you can eat.
So you actually were able to like sit down. Okay.
Yeah. But I was still, by the time I got home, like I was like peeling off. It was still like
just so
I was
wet jeans and
yeah. So I like text Rob at like 1 and I was like, hey, sorry man, like I left. And he's like, it's all right. And I was like, but I still took all these pictures like I always do, so whatever. And he's like, well, what happened? And I was like, oh, let me tell you, and I told him the whole story.
He's like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's like, please don't
that's why I leave. But so but also, man, I was tired.
Yeah,
like I had to be at work the next day. And that was an even longer. Well, actually, that was an easier short day.
Yeah.
But still, like, oh God, it was so much. I had
just
no
like a
time.
Spoiled day. Yeah, it was just a spoiled day with everything, like with it like spilling on you.
Yeah.
It just kind of ruined the mood. And
Yeah,
that's all right.
but again, it was like Tuesday we had this, Wednesday I had this. Yeah. Thursday and Friday were crazy at work. Saturday I got crazy. Things got crazy at work. Sunday was like Rob Staley night. Monday I had to work, and then we finished that out with J-Lo night.
Yeah, and it was just like a lot. Which that movie, I didn't know J-Lo didn't love herself. That was a surprise to me.
If you ever get a chance to see that movie, don't.
You know what? I say see it. I think it's funny.
We cringed and drank.
Yeah, but you know what? We didn't cringe, but we did drink too. Is Vegas Madness.
I'm so excited this year. We have so many great nominations.
Yes,
like
so many nominations. So this comes out first, and then tomorrow is the nomination. So keep an eye out. Vegas Madness is going to be its own thing this year. So keep your eye out for all the videos. We're going to post videos on all of the game days. So keep your eyes out. Yes, we'll promote it on social media.
They will get posted. It will correlate with March Madness.
Yes. So if there's a March Madness
game,
by the
way, did you see the LSU the LSU South Carolina fight?
I did not.
So at the end of the women's game, there was like a minute left.
Oh.
And one of the girls, I think I sent you this video. One of the girls from South Carolina. Well, actually, first of all, they were like getting really. Okay, here's the thing: is the entire game, the refs weren't calling fouls on anyone.
Yeah.
Like on no one.
Yeah.
They were like physical.
Yeah.
And the refs called no fouls the whole game.
Yeah.
And so then they were like, okay, they were trying to see how far it could go.
Yeah.
And then at one point, like, one of the girls from I think her name is Flauget, like from LSU, well, Louisiana, like kind of like shoves another player, but kind of like what she's like blocking or whatever or something. Well, then like one of the other players from South Carolina comes over and shoves her, like almost launches her.
Oh my goodness!
And
why?
then Flauget's brother jumps down from the stands and over the scoreboard.
Yeah, you can't do that.
And then like literally over the score, like over the judges, over the scoring people.
My God.
Yeah, over the scoring table. And then the police show up, like, and it was a whole big thing.
Oh my God.
So like so every single player from LSU.
Yeah.
Except for like there was one girl that was like she is kind of like the how do you say it? She's almost like the bully, but she's like the thing is like she got all these endorsements, so she's like, I ain't gonna be part of this. So she like she went into the locker room. She's like, I'm out. Like she like
I don't so I'm hoping so I don't the same thing. Be like,
so
okay, bye.
I don't know if she was like disqualified because here's the thing is like she was kind of just standing there like waiting, almost like just kind of watching like everything going down, like the game.
Yeah.
And then when she saw a fight broke out, she was like, I'm out. Like, so she had nothing. Like, of all people, like everyone thought that she'd be the one starting it. She didn't.
Like, nope.
So
nope.
Every single player from LSU was ejected. And then every single player from South Carolina was ejected.
See,
except for one. And that's only because she was waiting at the table to check in. That's the only reason that she didn't get. Yeah. So March Madness is going to be insane this year.
Yeah, and Vegas Madness is also going to be insane this year too. Oh my God,
so many changes. I
know it's going to be so good. We can't.
And then we were already like thinking about stuff for next year too. It's just going to get bigger. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah. So
it's going to be so much fun.
Stay tuned.
I hope you guys have fun too. But definitely keep your eye out for that. Like I said, keep your eye out on social media. We're going to post everything so you know when it's out. It's going to be on the Spotifys, on the YouTubes, all that fun stuff.
Like, subscribe.
Platforms. Exactly.
Hit the bell.
Exactly. So make sure you hit the bell extra hard this time because you need to know when we post new videos so you can be up to date with Vegas Madness. But I think that's our show.
Yeah, that's a wrap.
Wow. I can't believe it. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate it, and we will see you next time.
Bye. Hey, guys. Jessica here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our awesome channel. And for all the news and updates on Reality Check, please remember to hit that little notification bell. And as always, we will see you out on the strip.